good morning to all our viewers of GP13 TV channel, Global Punjab USA. I am Ajit Bandal, the anchor of this show today. And today we are going to produce a real estate video. And to do that, we have invited two distinguished guests to do that. They're expert in in the field of real estate, and we welcome both of you.
Thank you.
Please identify yourself.
Namaste, Sat Shri Kal. I am Vida Mangosing. I am the broker and owner of Caldwell Banker Solano Pacific in Benicia, California.
And hello, I am Leslie Singh with Pinnacle Home Loans. I'm a lender, also in Benicia.
Very good, thank you. And now our first question will be, can you please describe us the current and future trends of the housing market in California as well as in USA?
Right now in California, as well as across the United States, there is limited housing. We absolutely need to build more housing for our citizens, as well as for those that are coming into our country.
Now, as far as trends are concerned, can you also describe us the real estate prices, how it's going at this time, and what do you expect in future?
The real estate prices, just at this moment, talking about Solano County, in March, our average sold price was $619,000. Which is about 98% of the asking price. So there is negotiations going on. That was in March. In April, our average sold price was $615,000. So a little bit less.
So the current trend is like the prices are decreasing, you mean?
I believe the prices have become more negotiable because of the higher interest rates, and the buyers having to adjust and the sellers having to adjust to the interest rates that are at approximately 7%.
Yes. High sixes, low sevens,
Okay.
depending on different factors.
And what kind of houses we are talking about at this time when we are talking about the trends? So what are various types of houses that are available in the market?
Well, if we were to take what is our multiple listing, and that would include Solano County, Sonoma County, Napa County, Marin County, and Mendocino County. Right now, there are 235 mobile homes available for sale. There are 2,171 single-family homes available for sale. There are 173 mobile home and manufactured homes that are available for sale, and residential income, meaning more than one building or more than one unit, there are 136 available for sale.
Very good. Now, looking at the market at this time, is this a good idea for the customers to buy the house, or they need to wait?
Oh, no, don't wait.
Agreed.
Buy
Agreed.
now. And the reason why is that everybody has a different reason as to why they want to own a home. Perhaps their families have never owned a home, and this is now an opportunity for a generation. There's also security, having your own home, being able to plan your own life because you have your own home. It's also future, where you've gained equity in your home and you build your equity in your home, which also gives you an opportunity to buy investment properties. So as far as home ownership, I would never hesitate on owning a home. If you can purchase a home, do so.
Thank you. Another question comes. I was talking with someone yesterday, and they're in the market of buying the house. But what they were telling me that, they're very much interested to own the home, but because of the high interest rate, they want to wait a little bit. What do you think?
Go ahead, Leslie.
Okay. So one thing, yes, interest rates are higher right now. They are, like we said, in the high sixes up to about 7%. And if you waited a year, they'd probably come down about a percentage point, maybe the high fives, low sixes. So people think, I need to wait. But one thing to consider right now is that when you purchase right now, you're going to get some appreciation in your property. The appreciation rate in California for property is 6.2%. That means that every year the value of your property goes up 6.2%. So if you purchase now at the higher rate of, say, 6.875, instead of waiting a year, you're going to get, by next year, you're going to have $40,000 in equity in that property. And the interest rate that you had when you bought the house, you can then refinance out of it later, at some cost, of course, but the cost compared to the value that you've appreciated is going to be worth that. So we kind of say, find the home of your dreams now, wed yourself, marry yourself to that house, and we can do something about the interest rate later.
Okay. Now, I was told that there are different types of loan programs available, and that also ties with interest. So what kind of loan you're suggesting for a first-time homebuyer?
Well, it depends on credit scores. So we always pull a credit report, or when I first meet with clients, I may not pull one right away. I may just, usually I'll ask, what do you think your credit's like? And for the most part, people seem to know. So credit scores and how much down payment you bring in does affect the interest rate that you get. Lower down payment loans are definitely out there, and they're very valuable. We've got 3.5% down, 5%, 10%. And there's what we call first-time home buyer loans that are just for first-time home buyers, but the ones with the lower 3.5% down are not necessarily just for first-time buyers. So there's lots of products out there with different down payment assistance, different down payment amounts.
So when you think different down payment amounts, are you thinking down payment and closing cost assistant loans?
There are those, yes, indeed. We've got several here in Northern California that we seem to use most often. Cal HFA is one of them, and it's a 3.5% or a 5% down. And you can get a down payment assistance loan to go with that, to help you with that. And then at this moment, you will have to bring in some money for closing costs. That comes and goes with the programs and with the interest rates. But right now, with the interest rates being a little bit higher than normal, we're not seeing quite as much closing cost help with our down payment assistance loans. I hope that makes sense.
Very good. Now, let's see, when we talk about the first-time home buyer, let's see, I'm the first-time home buyer, but I want to partner with another one. So two families are buying the home. One is first-time home buyer. The second one is not. Does that person qualifies for the first-time home buyer?
Not for the programs that we're talking about with down payment assistance loans. There are some, though. I take that back. There are some here in Northern California that are not just for first-time home buyers. But if it says it's a first-time home buyer loan, then they both of the borrowers that are going to be on the loan need to be first-time home buyers.
Leslie, can you qualify first-time home buyers,
thank
please?
You. So a first-time home buyer is not necessarily somebody that's never owned a property before. It's someone who has not owned a home for the previous 3 years. We used to prove that. These programs used to require proof of that by seeing 3 years worth of tax returns that people didn't have mortgage interest deductions on there. Now it's more of an honor system and they just take your word for it. So if you haven't owned a property in 3 years, you're considered a first-time home buyer again.
Wow, that's the good news. So that part we did not know at this time. And many people are asking about it, talking in some of the meetings as well. And so what you're saying is that to qualify for first-time home buyer, it's not only that the person never bought it, but as long as that person has 3 years history,
Right. The most recent 3 years, they have not owned a property.
that qualifies for that.
Yes.
Very good. And you said the interest rate for the first-time home buyers would be different from the one that's a regular?
Well, so these agencies that do the first-time home buyer loans, they set their own interest rates. And sometimes when you're bringing in low down payment, or some loans that have no down payment, which are rare right now for first-time home buyers, your interest rate's going to be a little bit higher. But they're very close to market rate right now. I mean, I saw the FHA interest rate the other day for Cal HFA, and it was 6.75, which is very good actually. It's a market rate right now for an FHA loan, and that was through Cal HFA.
I see. And now how about qualifying a first-time home buyer? What should be the loan to value ratio? I have heard that there is certain kind of ratios are available there that they qualify based on that.
So loan to value refers to how much your loan is as compared to the value. So if you bring in a 20% down payment, then you have an 80% loan. So your loan to value is 80%. What we really qualify folks on is what we call their debt to income ratio. So that's taking into consideration whatever the full mortgage payment will be, plus do you have a car payment? Do you have student loan payments? We add up all the minimum credit card payments that may show on the credit report. We add that into the mortgage payment, and that should be no more than 45% of the gross income for qualifying.
Right, 45%. Okay.
Yes, I mean, it can go higher, but if you're using a down payment assistance loan, they pretty much cap it at 45%.
Oh, I see. Because someone I heard that was telling me that it's 34%, so it's not 34.
That's kind of the guideline, but there's a lot of room for that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, lenders put on top of, like, let's say FHA's guideline, 34%, the lender who's actually handling that loan and loaning that money, they're going to put what we call an overlay on it, and they're going to allow it to go higher, most likely.
Very good. Let's shift our gear to the broker now. We were talking about the first-time home buyer, and then the single-family homes. And how about the commercial properties? When we talk about commercial properties, how they are going at this time?
Question, are you commercial property residential or commercial property businesses?
Can you tell us about both?
I'll do my best. The commercial property residential, again, it is looking towards your future when you buy a commercial property residential, whether it's a single family home or multi-unit. What you're doing is, in purchasing the home, is you're buying your future. The tenants that you have pay your rent. And so this is an excellent investment, being able to buy investment properties. Again, when you think investment property, it isn't, commercial would be 5 units and more. Otherwise, you would look at an investment property could be a condominium or a single family home or multi-unit. So that is all considered investment property. But when you think commercial, think 5 units and more. That would make it a commercial loan and a commercial property. Under commercial business right now, I believe that they're struggling. Since COVID, a lot of the businesses have exited these major buildings. And so there's lack of tenants in them. And you're seeing that a lot in the cities. San Francisco is one of them, where now what you're hearing and what you're seeing is how people, owners and cities, counties, can change what are empty buildings potentially to residential, or what is the next best use for them. Okay, so we're seeing vacant buildings right now, but we're also hearing of some interesting ideas to convert these buildings to be more useful.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that tells me that it's a good time to buy the commercial properties because of this trend.
Yes, it could be a great idea to buy a commercial property. If you're thinking business, well then you've got the carrying costs. Do you have tenants in the building that are going to carry the cost of that building to cover what your cost is? You don't want, as far as I'm concerned, you don't want to be negative. You don't want to take money out of your pocket and support your building. An investment property should be helping support you. So at this point, it could be good, very good, but then you need to step back and go, okay, what is the best use for this building? And that's how you would look at, I think, commercial property right now. What's the best use? What is its debt? Can you cover it? Do you have tenants?
Okay, so what I learned from this conversation was that the property to be qualify for commercial, it has to be 5 units or more.
Yeah,
And if it is 4 units, it's not
it's regular residential.
Nice.
Okay, so remember, when you're 5 units or more, or you're buying an investment, a commercial business, the lender loans on what the income is. Leslie, can you explain that?
Not very well. I don't do commercial financing of that type, so it's out of my realm, really, honestly. I should not.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Can you describe us a little bit about the tax benefits when we buy the real estate property?
I am not an accountant or a CPA, but one of the tax benefits of owning a home is it's the only thing we can deduct from our taxes. Unless you run a business and it's the cost of running your business, there are no real other tax benefits other than the interest that you pay on your mortgage that you can deduct from your taxes. That's pretty much it. That's the benefit.
So there will be 2 different things. One is your primary residence. The second, you have an investment. It may not be commercial. So when we talk about the tax benefits, is there a difference of tax benefits, primary residence compared to when you have investment?
Yes and no. When I think yes and no, when it becomes a business, it is a combination of your income, the cost of running your business, and the debt that you have. So it all comes together differently, in my opinion, because of the fact that an investment property and commercial purchases of property, that's running a business. And so it takes everything into account a little differently, where if you own a residential...
Correct. The tax benefit, I believe the tax benefit would be different.
It would
That's
be different.
what you're saying, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Now, how many minutes already passed? Okay. Now, the final question, I think last question is, when someone is buying a property, whether it's a first-time home buyer or not, what they have to be careful so that they do not get into a fraud.
Oh boy, yes. So today fraud is rampant. It's amazing
Crazy.
how bad it's gotten, but there are protections. And one of many of the comments and conversations that we have with our clients, whether they're buying or they're selling, is don't put your personal information out on the internet. Don't send it in email. We have seen and have heard of the bad guys, that's all I can say, is that they have the ability to go into your email, snatch out your personal information, or even wiring instructions. They have changed the wiring instructions. You think you have the correct wiring instructions, and you wire your money. It has now left the United States, and there's no getting your money back. It is that bad. So from my perspective and what I teach our office is we teach our clients to pick up the phone and call. We give you the phone numbers to your escrow officer. You have the phone number to your lender. If with your insurance company, you're providing your personal vital information. And so pick up the phone, make that call, and get that information over the phone. Please do not use your email. Don't send it by text.
Right.
It's extraordinarily dangerous.
Agreed.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. And that was the end of this show, of the
Okay.
video. Thank you again.
Thank you.
you.